I'm here with Kristi Crase from View. How are you?
I'm good, Kristin.
Good.
Thanks.
I am excited to hear about View because it's fascinating what you've been telling me about what Smart Glass can do for an airport in terms of capacity, and I'm really interested in hearing more about that.
Sure. Let me share a little bit about what smart glass is, because those are two words that don't normally go together when you think about glass. Smart glass is actually automatically tinting glass. So we use predictive algorithms in software to tint the glass in front of a glare or a heat event. So we look at the building orientation, we look at the sun orientation, which we know where it's going to be, and we look at current weather conditions and combine all that together so that we can predictively bring down the glass tint to provide a more comfortable space. So you brought up a really good point. One of the trends we're seeing in airports today is the real need to deal with capacity issues. It's stated from ACC reports that passenger counts are going to double by 2030, which is a staggering number.
That's a lot. I can't even imagine.
It's driving airports to have to make decisions around these capacity issues. One of the things they're looking at is where are they going to spend their capital funds? And 72% of all capital funding is slated to deal with capacity enhancements. And they're looking at drivers like passenger comfort and increasing revenue while providing operational efficiency. So when you think of smart glass, it's really a product, it's a technology that allows airports to invest in the future and wrap all of those drivers into one thing. So talking about the space issue, when you're dealing with capacity issues, you can't necessarily just build your way out of those problems. You have to look strategically at the space you have today and how can you utilize it better. When you have glare and heat, it actually drives people away from the skin of the building. So people are pulling away from some of that prime real estate and hold rooms in concession areas when they become uncomfortable. So if you have dynamic glass that provides less glare, no glare really, less heat impact, you're opening up that space and providing more flexible utilization of that prime real estate. When you do that, you also open up the opportunity to increase revenues. Now you've got more seating. People are going to stay there longer, thus increasing dwell time and then spending. Sustainability, when you're reducing that heat impact, now you're reducing energy costs.
And I can imagine with the proliferation of screens, everybody's got a screen, and if you can't see it, if you're sitting in an area that's too sunny, then that would be frustrating and you'd move.
Exactly. And the other impact around technology, you bring up a good point, that the passenger comfort and the utilization of their own devices is really important, but airports have problems in this area too, with the utilization of things like biometrics and facial recognition and even cameras.
That's true.
These technologies require a certain ambient light condition, and many airports have been reporting to us that glare is impacting the utilization of these technologies. So we can provide the right ambient light conditions to optimize both airports' technology usage plus passengers' abilities to use their devices.
That's fascinating. I can think of applications outside of airports, really any kind of space.
That's right.
Any kind of city space, malls.
Exactly. I mean, there's benefits in hospitals. I mean, patient wellness. There's been studies that have been done around healing and in office buildings around productivity and less headaches and less fatigue. Natural light is something that human beings actually need. We actually crave that. Being closer to the outdoors, being more available to the outside lights. But sun itself and glare can make that a really negative experience. We also see that when people add things to mitigate that glare and heat, like blinds or even frit, which is a permanent structure. When blinds come down, most of the time they stay down, and so now you're losing the benefits of having the views, having the connection to the outdoors and the natural light.
That's fascinating.
Thanks.
Thanks for filling me in.
Thank you. Thanks for your time, Kristin.